Hello everybody, this is Albert with the Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to posit the question whether or not men's hesitation with hot tea being seen as effeminate and making them gay, will that ever change? Now, before I begin, if you've never visited us here in Green, Texas, we're outside of New Braunfels, Texas, halfway between San Antonio and Austin on Interstate 35. Come visit us. We'd like to meet you. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell so these episodes come fresh to you. Post a comment. All right. So this YouTube channel kind of serves two purposes now that we're well over 300 episodes here. One is tea education, tea knowledge, history of tea, things like that. And two, it's kind of a vlog for me, just kind of personal venting and whatnot. And this is one of those episodes. And certainly we've covered this topic early on when this store opened. The store opened in April of 2024. And so I do have, I think, a 4-part series on how to overcome men's prejudice toward hot tea. Today I'm positing the question, is it possible? I would really tell you this. I'd say as a whole, no, it's not. It's not possible. It's not possible. Now, there's caveats to this answer. And nay, you might say I'm being cynical. If you are in a town that has a very strong tea culture, now we're assuming you're in America. I do know, I see the demo. Some of you guys are in India and other places. So this is assuming you're an American, or you're in America. If you're in a pocket of tea, I don't know, California, even Colorado, Seattle, Portland, big cities, we're throwing you out the window. You don't count, okay? Because you are in those pockets. And when we're talking about tea, we're not talking about boba tea, we're not talking about sweet tea, we're talking about hot tea, Asian tea, like our shop. We're throwing you out the window because you grew up in a milieu, either because of your family or the town that you live in, where there is this culture. But we're talking about flyover country, as the liberals call the most of America. Now, as you guys know, I'm in Central Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. Here it's a different creature. It's a different creature. And I would say that the answer is no. It is so steeped into the bubbas, and I mean them affectionately, calling them bubbas, that tea will make them gay. Now, that might be slightly hyperbolic, but not really. It's not hyperbolic at all. I do think on one level, on some subconscious level, that there are men who think that if they drink hot tea, whether it be green tea, black tea, pu'er, even if they knew about these categories, they're like, people will think different of me. They'll think I'm gay. No, I gotta drink coffee, even though it increases my blood pressure and pulse. It might kill me young and all these other problems with coffee. Even though my doctors told me I gotta stop drinking coffee, I gotta keep drinking tea. So I do think that because of the advertising, starting really in the 19th century, and we have videos on this, targeting and marketing tea, especially in England, toward women, and that later got transported over here with Lipton and Tetley and Twinings and all these companies over here, that the majority of men in flyover country don't even contemplate drinking hot tea. Why? Because there's more masculine beverages like coffee and liquor and all these things. And I think that similar to like people have prejudices towards certain religious groups, even though they've never actually looked up what those religious groups teach, but they've just been kind of inculcated or wired to believe these things. I think it's the same thing about hot tea in men. That aside, unless you grew up with it or maybe you were stationed in the military in an Asian country or something, you just see hot tea as strange and effeminate and off-putting. And aside from like locking men up in a tea shop for 30 days and making them only drink tea, which I think would be effective, because the thing is like, it really depends what you're looking for. If you're wanting a jolt, coffee is the drink for you. If you're wanting to relax and have a wider range of taste, tea is for you. But getting a typical bubba into a tea shop and having them come back to try different teas or different flights to try different teas, that's the problem. That is the problem. And we do have men who will come in here grudgingly in their 60s, and my doctor's telling me I got to stop drinking coffee. What tea tastes like coffee, they'll say. Aside from those guys, getting the typical Southern, Midwestern, Great Plains guy to venture into a tea shop and really earnestly, with no prejudice, give hot tea a chance, I think it's essentially impossible. Look, there's pockets of the world, over the United States, where artisanal tea is growing. But let me tell you, it's not rural Alabama or rural North Dakota. These are big cities on the coast. So I would say, as a whole, I don't think it's possible. I think the prejudice is so steeped. And you can bring up cases, like look at Uncle Euro or whatever from Last Airbender. You look at Captain Picard, he would drink Earl Grey straight. Genghis Khan drank tea. I mean, I could give historical examples. You could tell these people, in the world, tea is the most consumed beverage. Hot tea, 5 billion cups a day. And in most of the world, men drink more tea than women in a given day. In India, Bangladesh, China, Korea, Japan, all these countries, tea is not seen as effeminate. It's only here in the West, namely England and in America, that it's perceived this way. So you can give these intellectual answers and reasons. But again, the heart wants what the heart wants, as Selena Gomez's old song says. So I just don't think it's effective. If you think I am wrong, please post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care.